The comments made by Andrew Tate on women, gender, business, and class have caused a firestorm on social media. What does this kickboxer want his audience to take away from his performance? His polarizing comments aim to demean women while simultaneously celebrating the virtues of the masculine gender as if it were an ideal. We have the following information on his most notable argument moments. What can we recall about Tate's debate on gender equality? Tate often claims to be a feminist when challenged with his horrible ideas on women and gender. Nobody has yet pressed him on this point, such as asking him to define feminism. During arguments, Tate often compares women to children or automobiles to underline his obligation to protect the people and things within his control. Although plenty of women would love to be in a relationship where a man is fulfilling traditional gender stereotypes, other women view themselves as every bit the equal of a male and do not want that kind of relationship, according to David Portnoy of the BFFs podcast. Tate said that a woman who believes she is equal to a man is the exact type of person I would never give my time of day to. Any woman who feels it's more important to argue with me about how she's as capable as a guy at everything, rather than just paying the bill and being pleasant, Tate added. Tate regards women's protection as a man's imperative, which begs the question of what women should be protected against. If it is males, this toxic, hypermasculine, sexist ideological worldview does not seem to make women safer. The idea that a woman would imperil the male imperative by failing to pay a bill or being kind reminds me of author Margaret Atwood's remark. Men are worried that women will laugh at them. Women are fearful that guys will kill them. Moving on, Tate compares a woman to dogs and objects. Tate defended his position that women are on par with dogs and children on the BFF podcast, saying, "You can't be accountable for something that doesn't listen to you." Tate has previously said that women are on par with dogs and babies. You cannot hold yourself responsible for defying yourself in the same way that you would a dog, a kid, or a woman. You are unwilling to accept responsibility for your disobedience. Women's dehumanization is one of the most popular sexist cliches that can be found everywhere. When questioned, he will justify his absence by stating something along the lines of, "I adore girls. Every woman I've ever had sexual relations with has been a woman. I've never been in a relationship with a man. Having sexual contact with a woman does not imply that you love her or that you are not anti-feminist, sexist, or misogynist. This is a widespread misunderstanding. This is a reality that is clear to everyone who takes the time to look." In this section of his lecture, Tate will argue that analogies to non-humans, objects, and children are simply illustrations. If this is the case, and he is as clever as he claims to be, he needs to update his references since they are so out of date. Women have traditionally been treated paternally, which has been used to justify both the loss of their agency and autonomy to make their own choices, as well as the denial of the chance to obtain the means required to live an independent and dignified life. Following that, Tate treats women as a financial game. Andrew Tate, who portrays himself as a knowledgeable businessman who can help others become rich, is often asked how he made his money. Another Manosphere podcast, Fresh and Fit, asked Tate how he got started in the business after his boxing career ended. He began by studying money, banks, and the whole financial system. Then he began listing his belongings, which included a car, a London flat, $10,000 in the bank, and his girlfriends. He established relationships with ladies from all over the world throughout his boxing career. Andrew Tate knew that his girlfriends and his financial assets might be misused. "I could open a strip club, but it's expensive, and I'd need both overhead and money. How am I going to make money with these women?" he wondered on the show. He chose to work in the webcam sector, where he started to amass personal wealth. "At the peak of my webcam pimpin' career, I feel like the king of the world. The issue is that the first two girls worked for me because they loved me. But as you become bigger, you start recruiting females who don't love you. This is a foolish idea. If a woman works, she will anticipate financial compensation rather than love from someone who refers to himself as the top G. He was looking for money, but when one of his cam girls sought to do the same, she was criticized for refusing love and protection in exchange for money." Next up is Tate's argument when it comes to women driving. How are women permitted to drive? Tate wondered after watching a lady do a U-turn into oncoming traffic. Hasan Piker, a socialist Twitch broadcaster, reprimanded Tate on this issue, claiming that the empirical data was not on his side and that one's prejudices, views, and lived experiences are insufficient for creating societal realities. "There is a fact, and then there is your own experience supported by tales," Piker said. Piker brought up the vehicle insurance sector, which costs males more for coverage on average because they are more costly customers since they are involved in more accidents. Tate made similar statements during a dispute with Twitch broadcaster XQC, who also chastised the former kickboxer for his remarks towards women. women. Tate retaliated by insulting XQC, stating, "Women can't drive, and if that bothers nerds like you, I don't care. That's what I think. If that irritates folks, well, that's my own experience. You'll have to get over it." Like Piker, one might go through his reasoning and explain that there is data to imply that women are better drivers than men, but it would not be enough for Tate and his supporters. Instead, a question appears. What is the aim of making such broad generalizations? Is it a policy idea that governments abolish the freedom of women to drive? Tate has said that limiting women's ability to drive is not his aim. This diversion is, without a doubt, an important method by which Tate diverts attention away from his words' impact on his followers. Moving on, more details on Tate's debate on women driving. Because personal and anecdotal experience seldom succeeds in convincing others that a certain policy choice should be followed, it is also helpful for him to acquire that attitude. Consider the inverse. How easy would it be for a woman to say that all of the accidents she had been involved in were caused by men, leading her to conclude that men should not be authorized to drive. This would lead to the conclusion that women should be allowed to drive. Societies do not use scientific data to demonstrate that women are capable drivers. Rather, they do this because personal experience may not be a reliable judge of what constitutes good and bad social policy in public discussion. If Tate states that he makes these things to garner views and followers, this is just as problematic and worrisome as the original statement. Teenagers of both sexes may be more susceptible to being influenced than adults, since they have different experiences in which they may not have been exposed to as many people or ideas as adults. This rationale for making these statements makes more sense, particularly when considering the kind of product Andrew seeks to promote, which is version 2.0 of Hustlers University. Because many people consider the educational program a fraudulent attempt at multi-level marketing, he appears on various platforms. Those who want to make a sale of the product are interested in boosting Andrew's brand and bringing their affiliate link to the attention of the greatest number of people possible. Finally, his remarks on rape in Romania. Tate has commented on the incidents of sexual assault in Romania, where he ran a camgirl business after moving there in 2017. Tate can be heard claiming that it is easier to evade prosecution for rape-related offenses in the Eastern European country in a video that has since been deleted from his channel on YouTube. "I'm not an effing rapist, but I appreciate the thought of just being free to do what I want," Tate stated, adding that this was 40% of the reason I came to Romania. Because he desired greater independence, Tate uprooted his life and moved to Romania. Being independent is a wonderful thing. One writer puts it this way: if you're a guy living in England or Germany or the United States or anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere right now, you've chosen to live in a country where any woman at any point in the future may wreck your life. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.